Before we get into the work for today, let's do a quick review of functions since it's been a few days. So we're going to start with what exactly is a function. And we said that a function was an equation or a table or a graph, right? They all represent the same thing, in which every x has exactly one y. We looked at some examples of some different tables and some different mappings. So in this case, these are x's and these are our y's. Every x has exactly one y. So this is a function. -1 maps to 1, 2 maps to -2, 0 maps to 0, and -4 maps to 4. None of these has another possible value. So like if we had 2 and it mapped to 3, we would have two 2's and we would have two different y's associated with them. That would not be a function. As it is, this is a function. We can represent that using a graph. You can see that here. It's the same thing, a table. You can see the same thing here. These are our x and our y values. Each one of these is a point. That's -1, 1. That's 2, -2. You see where we're going. This can also be represented as an equation. In this case, we are taking every x value, so we're going to say y is equal to, and y is always equal to, our y value here is always equal to, so y is always equal to x times -1. So we take -1 and we take its opposite, or its negative, and that gives us +1. So -1 times -1 is 1. 2 times -2 is -2. 0 times -2 times -1 is -2. 0 times -1 is just 0, and -4 times -1 is 4. So this is the equation, this is the table, this is the mapping. So we talked about domains and ranges. Every function has a domain and a range. The domain is all of the possible x values, all of them. Anything that we could get out of that as an x value. And the range is all the possible y values, right? We call all those x values the inputs. So all of these things mean the same thing. The x values, the domain, and the input are all the same. The range, or the y values, and we call those the outputs. All of these are the same. So the range and the y values and the outputs, they all have the same value. So if we want to find the domain, or all of the x values, or all of the inputs into this function, we would look in our x column and find all of those values, and then we would put them in numeric order. So we'll start with our negative numbers first. We'll go to our x column. What are all the possible inputs, or what is the domain? Well, -4, -1, 0, and 2. So that's all of them in order. -4, -1, 0, and 2. What is our range, or all of the y values? Well, those are right here. Again, we're going to put them in order from least to greatest. So we'll have -2 right there, 0 right there, 1, which is right there, and 4 right there. Domain, input, range, output. Domain is all the x values, range is all the y values. And remember, on a graph, we talked about our vertical line test, and we said that if we wanted to know if something was a function, it would cross. We could draw a vertical line at any point on that graph. If everywhere we draw a vertical line, it would cross in exactly one point, right? Then that is a function. So that's what we learned last time. That's your review. Let's jump on into today's assignment.